Mom's voice cut across the restaurant table like a knife. Maya, when are you going to stop embarrassing this family and get a real career? My fork froze midair. You're 26 and still a failure. Your brother's a doctor. What are you? I glanced at my watch. My lawyer would arrive in exactly 8 minutes. My name's Maya. I'm 26 years old. And that night was supposed to be a celebration. My dad's retirement dinner at some upscale Italian place with white tablecloths and too many forks. Instead, it turned into another public execution of my life choices. See, I'm a freelance graphic designer and small business consultant. I make decent money, good money actually, but in my family's eyes, I might as well be unemployed. My younger brother? He's a doctor, head of cardiology at 28, the favorite child, the one who did everything right. My parents are obsessed with traditional success. Doctor, lawyer, engineer, those are real careers. What I do? Playing on computers. That's what they call it. I've spent years being compared to him, dismissed, overlooked. Nothing I accomplished was ever good enough. I helped small businesses build their brands from the ground up, created websites, marketing strategies, visual identities, built a real career. But my family only saw someone wasting time on computer art stuff. I wasn't a surgeon or a lawyer like they wanted, but I'd built something they knew nothing about. Something real. Something mine. Tonight was supposed to be about Dad. Instead, it became another reminder that I'd never measure up. At least, that's what they thought. If you've ever been pushed aside by your family, subscribe right now and tell me where you're watching from. Because what happened next changed everything. The restaurant was packed with extended family. Aunts, uncles, cousins, everyone dressed up, celebrating Dad's 40 years at the firm. My brother arrived 20 minutes late. Got hugs, applause, the whole show. I'd arrived on time. Got a nod from Mom and nothing from Dad. The comments started before appetizers even arrived. Mom turned to my aunt. It's so important to have stable careers these days, don't you think? She glanced at me. Real jobs with benefits and security. My uncle leaned in. Maya, you still doing that computer art stuff? When are you going to get serious? I forced a smile. Dad said nothing. Didn't defend me. Just buttered his bread and looked away. Then Mom went for the kill. She stood up, wine glass in hand. I want to make a special announcement. My son just got promoted to head of cardiology. The entire table erupted in applause. My brother smiled modestly like he was embarrassed by the attention, but I could see the satisfaction in his eyes. Mom turned to me. And Maya, what have you accomplished lately? I sat up straighter. Actually, I just signed 3 major clients, combined value of $80,000. Mom waved her hand dismissively. Playing on your laptop isn't a career, sweetie. My brother smirked. His fiancée, some blonde from his hospital, actually laughed. Out loud. My face burned, but I kept quiet. Then came the real blow. Mom sat down and smiled at my brother. Your father and I have decided to give you the lake house as an investment in your future. My stomach dropped. The lake house. The one I'd been promised since I was 16. The one I'd helped renovate. Spent every summer there. Painted the deck, chose the furniture, planted the garden. We need to invest in the child who actually made something of themselves. Mom said it so casually, like she wasn't ripping away a piece of my childhood. 15 family members watching, witnessing my humiliation. I felt tears building behind my eyes, but I forced them back, swallowed them down. I checked my watch again. 6 more minutes. Just 6 more minutes until everything changed. Dad cleared his throat. We're also releasing funds from the family trust. $50,000 for your brother's private practice expansion. I looked up. What about me? You said we'd split everything equally. Mom sighed like I was a child asking for ice cream before dinner. That was before we realized you weren't going to amount to anything. My brother didn't say a word, just graciously accepted, nodded his thanks. My cousin whispered to her husband, loud enough for me to hear. At least someone in their family turned out right. The walls felt like they were closing in, but I stayed quiet, watching, waiting. Then my aunt spoke up. Maya did such a lovely job on your website, didn't she? She was talking to my brother about the full branding package I'd designed for his private practice, for free, because family helps family. Mom beamed. See, Maya, at least you can help your successful brother. That's something. My aunt nodded enthusiastically. It's nice she can contribute in small ways. Small ways. My work was worth thousands. I'd given it free and got insults in return. My brother's fiancée leaned forward. Oh, I actually found the designer. A friend recommended them. She was taking credit for my work. And my brother said nothing, just smiled and squeezed her hand. I gripped my fork so hard my knuckles went white, but it wasn't over. Dad pulled out a folder, cleared his throat again. There's one more thing we need to discuss: family business restructuring. My grandfather had owned a small manufacturing company. When he died, he left equal shares to both grandchildren, me and my brother. My parents had been managing my shares since I turned 18. Dad opened the folder. We've decided to transfer Maya's shares to her brother, since you're not interested in real business. My head snapped up. I never said that. You never even asked me. Mom reached over and patted my hand, like I was 5. Honey, you're not equipped for this. Let the adults handle it. I'm 26 years old, being called a child, in front of 15 family members. My brother gets the lake house, $50,000. My business shares, everything. And the whole family just nodded, like this was perfectly logical, perfectly fair. Something inside me clicked. I didn't cry, didn't yell. I just said, very calmly, that's not going to happen. Mom laughed. Actually laughed. Excuse me? You can't transfer my shares. I never signed anything. Dad's expression hardened. We're your parents. We have power of attorney. I looked at him, really looked at him. Actually, you don't. Not anymore. His face went pale. Mom's smile faltered. I checked my watch. 2 minutes. What they didn't know was that I'd been preparing for this moment for 6 months. 3 months ago, I'd visited the family business accountant. Routine questions, I'd said, just checking on dividend payments. That's when I discovered it. My parents had been siphoning my dividend payments for 8 years. Every cent went straight into my brother's medical school fund. His practice startup costs, his self-made success, built on my stolen money. I found documents too. Emails between my parents and their lawyer, planning to force my signature tonight, after dinner, when I was emotional and vulnerable. So I'd contacted Jennifer Hartwell, a friend from college, estate and family business law specialist. We spent weeks gathering evidence, bank statements, company records, emails, everything. I revoked the limited power of attorney my parents had from when I was 19, filed legal paperwork protecting my assets 3 weeks ago. Jennifer had advised me, let them show their hand first. Don't reveal what you know until they try to execute. I'd even recorded phone conversations. Mom admitting the shares were wasted on Maya. Dad saying I was too irresponsible to handle real assets. Jennifer was scheduled to arrive at exactly 7:30 p.m., right about now. I wasn't a failure. I was just finally done playing by their rules. I set down my water glass. I'm expecting someone to join us, actually. Mom's eyebrows shot up. Don't tell me you're bringing some boyfriend to beg for our approval again. Not a boyfriend, a professional colleague. My brother actually snorted. What? Another freelancer? Going to talk about font choices? The whole table laughed. At my expense, like always. Dad slid the papers across the white tablecloth toward me. Maya, we just need you to sign these tonight. It'll make everything clean and simple. Mom's voice went soft, condescending. It's for your own good, honey. You don't understand the complexity of business management. My uncle chimed in. Listen to your parents, Maya. They know what's best. My brother stayed silent. Didn't object. Completely complicit. I excused myself. Bathroom, I'll be right back. Walking toward the restrooms, I heard voices in the hallway. My parents, talking in low tones by the coat check. She'll sign. She always does what we tell her eventually. That was Mom. Dad responded. And if she refuses? Then we cut her off completely. No more family events, no more support. She'll fold. She always needs our approval too much. I stood there, hidden behind the corner, listening to them dissect my psychology, my weaknesses, planning how to manipulate me. This was their pattern. Years of this. And I'd never seen it clearly until now. I walked back to the table, face unreadable. Dad slid the papers closer. Just sign here and here, sweetheart. My brother leaned back in his chair. Come on, sis. Don't make this harder than it needs to be. Mom folded her hands. We're trying to help you. You're too irresponsible for this kind of asset management. Everyone watching. Waiting for me to cave. Like I always did. I picked up the pen. I could feel the relief wash over the table. They thought they'd won. Then I set it down. Very carefully. I'd like to wait for my lawyer. Silence. Complete silence. Then Mom's voice, rising. You're what? A woman in a sharp charcoal suit walked up to our table. Leather briefcase in hand. Confidence radiating off her like heat. Good evening. I'm Jennifer Hartwell, Ms. Maya's legal counsel. My family froze. Every single one of them. Dad recovered first. What is this, Maya? Jennifer smiled. Professional. Cool. I'm here to ensure my client's interests are properly protected. Mom tried to wave her off. This is a private family matter. We don't need outside interference. Jennifer's smile didn't waver. Actually, when it involves legal share transfers and inheritance rights, outside counsel is essential. She opened her briefcase. The click echoed in the sudden silence. Jennifer pulled out documents, set them on the table like cards in a poker game. Ms. Maya revoked your power of attorney 6 weeks ago, fully legal and binding. Dad's face went white. Jennifer continued. Any transfer without her informed, pressure-free consent would be invalid, possibly criminal. She produced bank statements, highlighted in yellow. These show that over the past 8 years, you've diverted $127,000 in dividend payments from Maya's shares. Mom gasped, quiet, sharp. The money went directly into funding your son's medical education and practice startup. Jennifer looked at my brother. Your self-made success was built partially on your sister's stolen inheritance. My brother's face drained of color. His fiancée looked confused. My uncle tried to stand. Leave quietly. No. My voice stopped him. Stay. You all wanted front row seats to my humiliation. Now watch this. I looked at my mother. You called me a failure tonight, Mom, but I built my business with zero help from this family. Actually, worse than zero. While you were actively stealing from me to fund his career. My brother found his voice. Maya, I didn't know they were... You never asked. You just took the money, took the free work, and joined in the insults. Mom's voice shook. We were protecting your inheritance, managing it responsibly. Jennifer cut her off. Ice cold. Spending someone else's money without consent isn't management, it's embezzlement. Dad tried to salvage it. Maya, sweetheart, we can discuss this privately. My client is prepared to file both civil and criminal charges unless full restitution is made within 30 days. I stood up, listed my demands. Every diverted dividend returned, with interest. Lake House transferred to my name immediately, my shares secured with ironclad protections. Mom looked at my brother, desperate. Say something. Defend us. He had nothing. No words, no defense. I picked up my purse. Jennifer will send the full accounting tomorrow morning. Mom's voice cracked. You'd actually sue your own family? I stopped at the edge of the table, looked her right in the eye. You stole from your own daughter and called her a failure with the money you took. Silence. Pure, heavy silence. Dad followed me to the lobby. We thought we were helping you grow up. I turned. No. You thought I was too stupid to notice, too weak to fight back. You wanted a successful daughter. You just refused to see you already had one. I walked out. Jennifer beside me, my family still sitting at that table, speechless. My brother texted that night. I really didn't know about the money. I didn't respond. Not for days. Over the next 2 weeks, my parents' lawyer contacted Jennifer repeatedly. They agreed to full restitution. $127,000 plus 8 years of interest, paid over 12 months. My shares got ironclad legal protections. The lake house transferred to my name only. In writing. Notarized. Mom tried calling, multiple times over 3 weeks. I let it go to voicemail. When I finally answered, her voice sounded different. Smaller. Uncertain. She didn't apologize. Not really. But there was an admission. We underestimated you. Yes, you did. I didn't cut them off completely, but I set boundaries. Hard ones, made of steel. My brother sent payment for the website and branding work. 6 months late. But he paid. My business kept growing. I never publicly mentioned the family drama. Kept my success private, my dignity intact. They'd spent years trying to make me feel small. It took one lawyer and 8 years of bank statements to show them I'd been standing tall the whole time. I didn't need their approval anymore. I had something better. Proof of my own worth that no one could ever dismiss again. If you've ever had to prove yourself to family who refuse to see your worth, you're not alone. Hit subscribe and drop a comment with your story. I read every single one. Where are you watching from? Let me know below. And if you've ever had to stand up to family like this, tell me about it. Your story deserves to be heard. This community is here for it. Thanks for being here and listening to mine. See you in the next video.